friends, welcome back to Full Circle Farms Waynesburg. My name's Michelle, if you're new here. We also have Hannah here with us, and she is a friend of ours. And we have Gracie, and I know you've seen her in other videos, but she's our middle daughter. So today, we're going to make some artisan homemade bread. And we're not going to make it in a Dutch oven. I have a simple way that I'm going to show you how to do it, and I'm going to teach these two to do it. Gracie has made some homemade bread last week. I taught her over the phone, so I think we're pretty good on that. And Hannah has made some homemade bread with her grandmother. Now this recipe is an inspiration from Jess at the farmer's table. We're also going to make some homemade biscuits. I do not know where I gained this recipe from, but it's one I've been using for years. And my family loves it, and it's called Cat Head Biscuits. Then we're going to make a homemade bundt cake. If you like these types of videos, stick around. We're going to learn how to do this together. We're going to get started with our bread. Gracie's going to go ahead and fill this up with 3 cups of bath water, filling water. And I'm going to go ahead and let you start measuring out. Let's see, we need a teaspoon. Let me find my teaspoon. Measuring. 3 teaspoons. We need one of these.
Did you make that warm?
Yes, it needs to be bath water warm.
You didn't. I didn't know what that meant.
Bath water warm.
I never make my bath water right. So
actually, we're just going to need 2 of those.
Okay. Do I have to?
Not yet. It's called a bloom, so we're going to bloom it. You don't have to with instant yeast. Okay, so go ahead and put 4 teaspoons in there. Gracie, get us 1 tablespoon of white sugar. There you go. So that can go in the sink, and I'll go ahead and put this back in the freezer. Gracie's going to put a tablespoon of sugar in here, and we'll mix this up, and we'll start the bloom process.
Is this sugar for the yeast?
Just sugar.
Is this sugar to help the yeast?
Mm-hmm. And then just kind of stir it around here. Set the timer for 10 minutes. We're going to set this out of the way. So I use a high gluten bread flour. And this recipe calls for 3 cups of bread flour. And since I'm doubling the recipe, it's going to be 6 cups. I do not weigh out the flour for this bread. That's what makes it fast, easy, and something that I enjoy making. Now, some days when I'm not in a hurry, I don't care to weigh things out, but not all the time. So we got our bread flour in there. Now we're going to get our salt. This is the Redmond salt that I like. And no, it's not, honey. It's the Redmond salt.
Are you sure?
I'm positive. And it calls for 2 teaspoons of salt. I doubled it, so it's 4 teaspoons.
I guess it is.
Yeah, I know this.
Mom, you said it was. So wait, you missed it.
This is 2 teaspoons. That's a. Oh.
I did not know that it was.
I know, it's pretty cool, isn't it? I know, it's pretty cool.
Can I stir it now?
Actually, we've been putting it in the wrong bowl.
Okay.
So just dump it in here. It won't hurt anything.
I know. Can I stir it now?
No, we're not. Put that down. Put that down. It's going to go over here. And we ain't ready for it. Put me 6 cups of bread flour in here. Go
I
ahead.
don't know if there's 6 cups left in here.
If not, I've got a new one.
Yeah, I need a new. That's not going to be 6.
Let's do, where's my red spoon at?
It's over here.
We need 2 of those of yeast in there. When I bake and stuff, it relaxes me. So that's the reason why I enjoy baking.
Well, I set the smoke alarm off when I tried to make sausage.
Well,
Can I
we
stir it
need
now?
4 teaspoons of salt in here. You don't need to stir it. We're going to stir it with
Maybe I prefer to do it behind.
So you need 2 of those.
Do you want this?
I know this one. I think that might have needed. Make the next one fuller.
No, it's fine.
Okay.
Okay, now we can wash that.
Yeah, we're gonna wash it.
The dishwasher. May get a little bit of sugar in here. What is it?
No.
You know I can see everything you do.
I don't want to stir it.
Well, that's fine.
You kept saying no.
Okay, so Gracie wants to stir by hand, so we're gonna move her down here. Come down here. And so we're gonna go ahead and show you that you can stir this by hand.
I don't have a mixer, so.
You need 3 cups of warm water, like to give a baby a bath. Yeah. The camera.
Oh.
So
Okay.
Gracie is going to stir, and she's going to show you how to do this if you don't have a mixer. And Gracie doesn't have a mixer at home. Actually, that's a lie.
I have a mixer and I don't have any attachments, so it's kind of easy.
She doesn't have any attachments. So you want to work this dough until you get it to a shaggy stage.
Like this?
Well, you're almost there, but you want to mix it all up. Okay. You set it right here. Good and warm, right?
I think so.
Try again. Needs to be a little warmer. And just dump it out and run the hot water for a little bit. You're okay. Look at you go, Gracie.
Carpal tunnel and all that.
Mm-hmm. Now you could add a little more water to that, but it looks really good, so I'm not going to. Now put it right here. Now let's see. Perfect! Good job. So go ahead and pour this in, and then we're going to stir it up. And then just kind of whisk it around with the spoon to get it kind of incorporated, and then we'll set the timer again.
The edge there.
We won't set the timer on this one so I can show you that you don't have to let it bloom. Gracie, here in a minute we'll put plastic wrap on that, and we're just going to set it to the side. And what we will do with this is, her recipe says to let it sit out for 2 hours and then put it in the refrigerator overnight or up to 48 hours. I don't do that. I let it sit out until about 5 or 6 hours, and then I will bake it tonight. Okay, you can go ahead and pour that in. And you can put that over there, and I'm going to go ahead and hook this up to the mixer. Have you used the KitchenAid mixer, Hannah?
Yes, ma'am.
So you know how to use this. So we're just going to hook the mixer up. We're going to set it on stir, and we're going to let it mix until it looks like this, the shaggy stage. So we're just letting this mix up really good. I'm going to turn it up one more. So now we've let the mixer do the heavy lifting. It is done. It is good, gooey, and sticky. And we're going to just put it in a nice warm area, and I will bake it in about 5 hours. Show you how to make Cat Head Biscuits. I'm using self-rising flour, and this is the white lily flour. Now my recipe is 2 cups, but I'm doubling this recipe, so I'm going to add more. And then, so I'm gonna go ahead and add 6. I'm gonna put some in the freezer. White Lily is the flour I love to use for this. Now, for every 2 cups of flour, you do a stick of butter. So I'm gonna need 2 more. Now what I do is, I'm gonna go ahead and put this in a food processor, and I'm going to chop up the butter with the flour. One thing I do is I run the butter through the shredder first. Then I put the flour in, then I chop it up. I think it's a preference. That's just the way that I like it. You can put it in your food processor with your chopping blade and chop it up. It works just fine. What you want to do is to ensure that the butter is small enough in the flour, and that's when it's rising, when it's cooking at the high heat or baking at the high heat, then that's when it's expanding and that butter is melting. That's the reason why you want to keep this in the refrigerator or freezer until you're ready to use it.
The cows.
Yeah, I noticed.
I'll give him head.
Oh, good.
I thought Merryweather was a cute one.
You already know who's my favorite.
Which one?
Huh?
Which one?
Gracie May. She has my name. I named her.
I thought it was, mine's Merryweather.
Huh?
Merryweather.
Like, I don't think that's video.
So I have the shredder on my food processor right now. Set it in here and put the lid on. And I'll just start putting the sticks of butter through. This is what it looks like. Now I have the butter shredded and I'm dumping it in to my flour. And this is where I'm going to put it back into the food processor with my chopper. And I'm going to chop everything up together, the flour and the butter. Now I just take a measuring cup and pour it into the food processor. Because I want a little bit of flour, a little bit of butter. I want it all to incorporate really well. And if you're not careful, it can make a mess. So, you know, you want to make sure that you've got your lid on and you're not making a mess if you can do it. This also helps the butter to not melt if I was doing it by hand. You want it to kind of look like small little peas in here. Is what you want it to look like. I will tell you, if it's a real dry day, you may need to use a little more liquid. Do not over mix biscuits. Do not over mix biscuits. You wanna get it worked in, but you just don't want it to over mix.
Oh, is there nothing I can do here?
No.
I don't think there's nothing we can do.
I'm gonna go lay in the field with cows. I'll have my phone.
I don't have a biscuit cutter. I use the largest cup that I have on hand, and that's how I do my Cat Head Biscuits. I'm going to go ahead and get some butter and put on my cookie sheet here. You want to set your oven to 425, 450. It just depends on your oven, but biscuits like it hot. So we're just going to butter this up real quick. You can use a 9x13 pan. You can use other pans, but I'm making so many here that that's why I'm doing it this way. And then I'm going to make about a dozen here, and then I'm going to freeze some. Let me set my oven on 450. I'm only going to scoop out half of this batter at a time, and it's just to help me to not overwork the biscuit dough. And it's going to be a wet dough. Don't worry, it's fine. You just want to gently maneuver it around here until you get it to hold on itself. And then you're just going to gently pat it out. I do not use a rolling pin. You are not making crackers. We're making biscuits. So don't patty it all the way down. When I first started making biscuits, I made crackers all the time. And I never could understand at the beginning, like, what am I doing wrong? Why is this not working? Because I was rolling them way too thin. Now you can place biscuits right up against each other. I give them a little room in between. Now we'll move this dough together. Bring it all back in. We'll gently tap it down. And we'll make another one. Alright, let's scoop out some more. And because I'm making bigger biscuits, I will probably have to make up some more. But like I said, that's okay because I go to work at 4 a.m. in the morning. So I don't have time to get up and really make breakfast. My breakfast needs to be made before I leave for the day. And I am really trying to not eat out. For one, it's better overall for my weight. And for two, it saves money. And for three, I know what's in the product that I've made. And it just gives me an overall, it makes me feel good to be able to fix a good wholesome breakfast for my family and for myself before work and everything. And so I'm just starting on this freezer meals, but today I thought we would start simple with biscuits. And you know, if you don't bake or cook, biscuits really are something to start with because they're very forgiving if you don't overwork the batter. I mean, main thing is don't overstir it. Don't work it to death. That's what I say. Now, here's our biscuits. If it's going to be a few minutes before your oven's ready, you can put them in the freezer or refrigerator. And I think I'm going to do that real quick. Let me wash my hands off here because my oven's going to be a minute heating up. I just didn't pay attention when I was gathering everything up to realize that it was time. I don't think it will fit in the freezer. Oh, it will. Let me grab another pan. Biscuits are one of those things that you can make, and it's really versatile because you can make biscuits and put them on top of, like make a chicken pot pie filling. You can make gravy and biscuits. You can have biscuits as your bread and do a country fried steak or even fried chicken with biscuits on the side. And then, you know, you have all your breakfast items. You can even make them sweet if you wanted like a cinnamon biscuit in your dough. You could go ahead and add in some cinnamon sugar and then sprinkle some on top. You could add in blueberries. So biscuits are really good for you to know how to make. And usually it just takes you once or twice and you'll get the hang of it. If you overwork your dough and the biscuits are real tough, that's really how you're going to know that you overworked it, is your biscuits are going to be tough. If you bring your biscuits out of the oven and they're really thin, they're going to be crackers. So just know that too. They do take a little bit of time. in the kitchen, but not that much time. I mean, especially when you can bring some hot biscuits out of the oven, put some warm butter on it. It's really good. I think it's like 70 degrees here today, and tomorrow night the temperature is going to drop about 40 degrees, and we're going to have 2 days of really cold weather. Henry is fencing today. Ben is advising him on fencing. We're starting our rotational grazing, so that is what he's out there doing. And I wanted to get some things made up for this week, so I'm here in the kitchen for a little bit. I'm ready to get back to gardening. And there we go. That's our homemade biscuits. Put them in the freezer or put them in a 450 degree oven. I start mine out at 15 minutes. Anywhere from 12 to 20 minutes. Like I said, it just depends on your oven. My oven's ready, so let's put our biscuits right on in. I tell you, it's about time to clean my oven again. I'm going to set my timer for, I'll start with 10 minutes. So now I'm just going to go ahead and plate up the biscuits here. As you can see, the bottom is good and brown.
I said you didn't burn them like everybody else in my family.
And no, I did not burn my biscuits.
They're perfect. I need some gravy.
I'm sorry.
We have them for breakfast?
No gravy.
Can we have them for breakfast in the morning?
Probably. There's no gravy today.
How do you make gravy?
I'll have to show you how to do that.
To get the white gravy that I like, we use the packs, but you can make homemade. I tried it. Yeah, you are. In the frame.
That could be an award-winning biscuit.
I got shoes on. It's just.
So we'll let it melt for just a second here. So while you all went and took a walk, I made homemade biscuits. So let's try them.
So we're trying them?
Mm-hmm.
I could eat a whole one of them.
Mm-hmm. They're good.
They're very good.
Henry's missing out.
They're really good, Mom.
I'm gonna take some.
I love the crunch, but I love the soft texture.
I like the taste.
It's super good with gravy.
I'm gonna text him and like call how you're missing out on homemade biscuit.
Fresh. Ooh.
These are good. I think I could eat that one card.
Mom's a really good biscuit.
Just so you want to know.
Oh my god!
So what we'll
Yeah.
So what we'll do is I'm going to gently push it down a little bit. As soon as she gets done making the bundt cake, we will put it in the pans and let it come out.
Mountain Dew cake. It's just super moist yellow cake mix.
Betty Crocker.
It don't matter what kind. It's just whatever kind my sister picked up. Instant vanilla pudding. It's a very moist cake. I clean up as I go, that way at the end I don't have to. And now we need half a cup of oil. There we go. It's a very, very moist cake. It's so good. And now we need half a cup of water. And half a cup of Mountain Dew. You don't really taste the Mountain Dew. You can pour a little more. You don't really taste the Mountain Dew in the cake. It just makes it really, really moist. And now I need 4 eggs. You're supposed to crack it over something else, I don't care. Casey told me, you're supposed to crack it on the counter, you know. I'll crack it where I want to crack it. Well, there you go. Well, there you go. We just gonna have a little crunch to it.
I probably should have cracked it on that.
It's okay. That's the third one, I think.
Oh, did I get shelled on that? No, I didn't. It don't matter. You know what? It's just calcium. Mom has a mixer. She's got 3 actually, but I don't use them.
When did you first start making these, Gracie?
Nana made it Nana and Mom would make it a lot when I was a kid, and then I wanted the recipe because I loved it so much. And then I actually didn't start making it until just recently, really, because I was in college and I didn't have a kitchen because I was in a dorm. But now I have a kitchen in my apartment and I make it, and I'm unhealthy.
You're unhealthy.
Because I'm making too many desserts in my kitchen. Just because it's homemade don't mean it's healthy. It just means it's good, but
It looks really good.
it's so moist. But I just stir until all the lumps are gone. See? Beautiful. Bundt pan. And you just spray it really, really good. Because if you don't, it'll stick.
And the one reason that you don't have to use the baking spray mix on this recipe is because it is so moist. And at the end, before the cake comes out of the pan, she adds in a glaze.
I do, yeah. And it's mostly butter.
And it helps the cake not stick in the pan.
And you just pour it around. Is the oven on 350?
Yes.
So we're gonna bake that in a 350-degree oven.
For, I think it's, hold on, I gotta use my phone because I don't have the original recipe. I got a picture of the original recipe. For 55 minutes.
And 50 degrees for how many minutes?
55.
Okay.
Hi, Terry. Set timer 55.
Our bread has doubled in size, so we're going to go ahead and get our pans ready here. This is a very sticky dough, and normally I don't even put flour down, but since I'm going to try to shape it, I kind of want to do that. You can see how wobbly it is. And we forgot to flour the top so that it would not stick. So we're just going to kind of walk it around here, and it will pull, and it will eventually pull out. Okay, we've got a little bit left. Now, if you had a scraper, you could scrape that down. I don't have a scraper, so I'm just going to pull it off with my hands here. Looks wonderful. Just kind of gonna get it here, and then I'm going to cut it to do it as evenly as possible. I just roll it till I get it where I want it, and then I will just pinch the sides, get everything pinched down good, and then I just put it in this big pan here, and I'll kind of like smush it out. Now it will rise. Now for this rise, I'm not going to cover it. I'm just going to set it on top of the stove here. It usually takes 30 minutes to an hour to rise, to double in size again. This here is a beginner friendly bread because it is so forgiving, so easy. I mean, if you've never made bread in your life, try this recipe. I really don't think you can mess it up. Just kind of stretch it out there. And that's what it looks like. And we'll be back shortly to show you once it rises.
The cake's baked now. Now I'm gonna move it over here so that I can make the glaze. And I I put in 1/4 of a cup of Mountain Dew, a cup of sugar, and a stick of butter, and I'm gonna wait till it gets to a nice consistency, and then I'm gonna pour it over that. And I'm gonna let it fully soak in, and then once it fully soaks in, I'm gonna turn it out, and then you eat it, and it's delicious.